Hello, everybody. Do a little screen share here. Welcome to the Why Ukraine live stream. Sounds very dramatic. Good job, Herb. Congratulations on doing the dishes. Wasn't me. Pleasure. Cypher. Here we go! Yeah, all right. So, let's talk, everybody. Oh, there we go. Enough of that.
With these hands.
Let's talk about something interesting and not this. Let's talk about something amazing. Hello, Viper. Vid is lagging, really? Ronnie? Shazbot. Silver Earth, good to see you. Yeah, I've got too many things happening. I don't care about that guy. We'll get to this later. Let's talk about this. No, Cypher, you were fine with your dumbness in Mercado's Discord. This, I feel you. It's all good. Oh, good. Yeah. I just, sometimes when the stream's starting up, it's a little janky. That's because YouTube hates me, and I'm dumb. Thank you all for coming. Oh, is Cheryl here? Hey, Cheryl. So this is amazing, and I'm not going to show the speech, but I saw part of it. Lithuanian MEP Andrius Kubilius announced this on his X account. Okay, so European Parliament has suspended the decision on financing the EU Council for failing to deliver Patriot systems to Ukraine. I mean, that's pretty cool. I don't know if you understand how, some of you do, obviously, understand how the European government, if you want to call it that, works. I can't entirely say that I do. I know that it's tripartite. You've got the European Parliament, the European Council, and then, oh my God, EU government structure. I better look at it myself. Jesus Christ. EU institutions. Yeah. So you've got so there's the council and then the commission. These are the ones that I always get mixed up. And it does. Oh, I'm glad you asked, Viper, because we're going to get to that. We're definitely going to talk about that. An elbow. No, a wrist. My wrist. Physiotherapy on my wrist. Yeah, I don't know if you saw my posts about it this week, but that is very interesting. So I have a lot to talk about there. But I think this is amazing. I please inform me, if you will, how this works. But it's my understanding generally that the European Parliament doesn't have a lot of control. The Council, the European Council, as I understand it, is like kind of the executive branch, but it's the heads of state of all the countries, and they have been problematic lately. Anyway, it's an amazing thing. I'm happy. So basically, they won't get any money until they send Patriot systems to Europe. And I guess this was actually approved. I'm frankly shocked. Yeah, and yes, the real Dave Seaman. Yes, thank you very much. We have these EU elections in June. That's why I'm glad it's happening now. Oh my gosh, it's so interesting. They've seen you made a very good point that I want to talk about later on in this stream. Ask a random duchy. I've never heard that term before. Ask a random duchy who he's voting for. They don't even know about the elections coming up. Yeah, playing hardball. But the problem is the question will be, is the next parliament, which will, after June, are they going to to be the same? Because it's my understanding, and JP, Jonathan M.S. Pierce, was talking about this. I brought this up with him on the Shills a couple of weeks ago. Is we don't know what what the European Parliament is going to do after this, because after June, it's looking like there's going to be a lot of right-wing parties gaining traction and gaining delegates. And so I'm glad they're taking a stand now. Ronnie, ask a random Belgian, and the idiot is going to the right. This is exactly what I'm talking about, And it's because people don't pay attention. They vote based on their feeling, and their feeling right now is fear. Yeah, okay. So Herb says, "Easy, Ronnie. It's early yet." Yeah, and that's also fair. So let's just talk about this. Let me see. I sent JP this video, and he was like, oh my God, I don't think I can find it right now off the top of my head, but it was basically talking about the American elections and how we're all panicking about it. You guys watching, we're freaking the weirdos, okay? Because most people don't they don't care about politics. They hate politics. As soon as something gets classified as politics, yes, Aaron, exactly. People vote based on what their social media echo chamber influences them to do. As soon as something gets classified as politics, it gets pushed out of their mind, because they're like, oh, that's politics. I don't want anything to do with politics because I hate politics. Now, that's the mentality of a slave. That's the mentality of somebody who wants, through negligence or default, for their country to go the way of dictatorship or totalitarianism or something, and so we are the 5, 10, maybe 15% of the electorate in our countries who is paying attention now, and most people won't pay attention until maybe 6 weeks before the election, and then they'll start to wake up and be like, who do I feel like voting for today? Hello, Andreas. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Canti, howdy. Right, the right-wingers, so the right wing, it's the same thing that Trump did this past week, ham-fistedly trying to gain some traction with the middle voters, the centrist voters. Le Pen is trying to be less disgusting, as you say, Ronnie. And Real Dave Seaman, you just said, the largest right-wing party here just dropped its anti-EU standpoint. Gert Wilders. But I don't trust that. I don't trust it, because they're trying to just, between now and the election, they want to just get a few more extra seats, a few extra percentage points. And then once they get into office, they'll vote for who pays their backhanded paycheck, which is probably Putin. Yes, KK's GG. I've never understood those who let fear motivate them to knee-jerk reactions. There's plenty to be concerned about, and much of that is knee-jerk reactors. Yeah. My former Tai Chi instructor said he never votes because he's above all that. Too spiritual for Middle Earth. Well, I'm glad he's your former Tai Chi instructor. Paul Gilbert, how you doing, man? Yeah. It's good. It's good to see everybody here. Yeah. So, I think that this is the Oh yeah, these idiots want to break up Belgium. I was seeing that how they want to split it. Or oh my god, no, that's Belgium or the Netherlands. I've forgotten. It seems like Belgium and the Netherlands both want to split up. Okay, Real Dave Seaman, that's you have a better understanding than I. So they already won the elections a few months back, but they need to find the middle road to form a government. Yeah. See, in America they don't have to do it that way. So they just, yeah. Only a thing in Belgium. Okay. About the splitting up. Okay. Yeah, but that's good. We're going to take the part where they make the beer. So half of Belgium wants to join the Netherlands. Is that what I understand? Okay. I mean, but the point of all of this is I see the hidden hand. Thank you, Cheryl. I was exactly about to say this. Split, split, split. Weaken your opponent, right? So you can see the hidden hand of Putin, divide and conquer, going on right there. Watching on mobile. Okay, Canti. So switching between ability to see the stream and reading chat, right? I understand that. When I first started, I was learning how to do this, and I did the same thing. Okay. So yeah, it's Herb. She might not take that as a compliment. Herb says you have a very military way of thinking, friend. Speaking, I believe, too. KK's GG. He means that as a compliment. KK's GG. Just so you know, that's a compliment. Okay. And a good one too. Totally understood. But this is amazing. I think it's amazing. And how long will it hold? Will that force Patriot systems to get to Ukraine? I mean, so Ukraine is saying they need 25 Patriots. We need 25 Patriots here. Last night, this morning, massive hits. It's, been just constant hits. I mean, as I've often said, I'm in a very safe place in Ukraine. And if you have noticed, I haven't been doing a lot of outdoor short videos here. I haven't been filming or making videos of my town where I live. And there's a reason for that. So, yeah, I'm trying to do stuff that's indoors or just doesn't reveal, because I don't need that. My town is so small that like one of those Fab 1500 bombs would probably take out half the town, So yeah. Paul Gilbert. Belgium has been divided for centuries, not down to Russian influence, but of course nowadays it will be the undercurrent. Yeah, well, I mean, Putler's just taking advantage of divisions that already exist. That's what the FSB has been doing in America too, So I hope, all we have right now is hope. Now, this is something that's amazing. Good news. Serbia granted Ukraine. This is like, are we on the same planet now? Serbia granted Ukraine financial aid worth $32 million. What? Okay. What are they doing here? Significant financial. I mean, I know it's not much in the grand scheme of things, but I mean, stating that the funds were transferred to the account of the Ministry of Finance of Ukraine from the Serbian government. Like, I don't know. Are we in the opposite world? I have no explanation for this. Yeah, no. I mean, I want to show like my garden and stuff. And I'm gonna do that at least because all the tulips are blooming and all this other crazy stuff. So it's amazing. Those of you who are here's what I will do. Those of you who are in the oh my god, the Discord. Those of you who are on our Discord, I'm gonna post my wife's. She has her own YouTube channel, and it has nothing to do with the war. It's about orchids and gardening. Oh, why Ukraine? Check that money. Something is wrong with it. Yeah. Talking about Serbia. Yeah, I is there like strings attached? I'm trying to understand this. Okay, I have this feeling like something's going to come out down the road that I don't know, some kind of poison pill. I just don't know. It's bizarre. And then this Schmihal calls meeting with Slovakia, and Slovakia and Ukraine sign a cooperation roadmap. I mean, I don't think it gives us the details. It's very vague. Very vague, but it's something. Sure, Cheryl. Yeah, maybe that's probably the case. I agree. Maybe Serbia wants in the EU so they can get in and F things up. Yeah, they are trying to play both sides, and by saying, hey, we threw Ukraine a bone, let us in. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. You know. But so I don't see any details about this agreement. But it says about common pragmatic interests about economy, development, restoration of Ukraine, participation in projects. I mean, it is certainly in the best interest of Slovakia, which, by the way, if you weren't certain, this is Slovakia's flag. It's basically the Russian flag with a cross on it. Okay. Oh, Paul. I think I have your email. Paul, have you bought something on the shop? On the Why Ukraine shop? I think you have. Okay. Write down. Send invite to Paul Gilbert email on Shopify. Okay, it is now officially on the list. Okay, but yeah, getting your Discord ID would be good, and then Real Dave Seaman has been nice enough to send invites to people. You have my email, and I bought on the shop. Yes, I thought so. That's why I recognized your name. Well, I mean, obviously I recognized it before, but that's what you understand what I'm trying to say. So thank you for reminding me, Paul. I apologize. I need your guys' help sometimes. I can, keep track of things. So amazing news here for what it's worth. I don't sniff a gift fish, even if it's just really minor stuff. It's in the interest of these countries, especially Slovakia, to have a good relationship with Ukraine, which is a much larger economy, even under the war. I mean, the potential for trade. You're going to be neighbors with these guys for a long time. You want to be friends. Oh, interesting. Viper says, okay, it must say hard pill to swallow that France still imports so much LPG. That's propane and propane accessories from Russia. Yeah, and then Herb, I agree. It seems like there should be a breach of contract for an act of war. That it ought to be allowed somewhere. I think that in general, countries in the EU and Western countries have been far too legalistic, far too much in the spirit of the law rather than the oh Silver Earth. I sent you. Oh, that wasn't for me. That was for Canti Ludan. Okay, great. um, yeah. Okay. Anyway, no, actually, Melania came from Slovenia. I think that's right. Right. Pretty sure she came from Slovenia, which I understand is very pro-Ukraine. But yeah, no, Slovakia is very much not on the up and up for sure in terms of corruption, and they're very bad. And they've been having a lot of protests against the government. So you know what? Before we get into this stuff too much, I want to share with you. Let's see here. I thought that I had this up, and instead, okay. Well, this because that's next on my list. Okay. We'll go here, and I want to show you. If you didn't see it, I uploaded it, and I think I uploaded it as members only. But here we go. So this is my ultrasound. You asked about my rehab. This is so weird that it's like some kind of magic. I literally don't feel anything when this is going on. Okay. The cream that they put on my wrist is hydrocortisone cream, I believe. And now this is not the only thing I'm doing. I don't have a video of it yet, but I am doing all these crazy, weird physiotherapy exercises. That they have an actual physiotherapist who's got me doing stuff. Yes, it is ultrasound. It is an ultrasound machine. And apparently it takes a while. It's not like instantaneous, but apparently it's supposed to work. Stimulates regeneration of tissue or whatever. I don't know. The main thing that's important is the exercises. The exercises, I can physically feel them doing really good stuff. And then the other thing that I think I posted to the community tab here. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, maybe I didn't post it. Let's see if I can find a picture of me. Aha! Here we are. There. That's me. Getting. Oh, Manu, I had a terrible experience with acupuncture, unfortunately. Yeah, you'll have to go back about 10 live streams. It was awful. It was awful, unfortunately. I do know that acupuncture works for some people. I think that it was the wrong time and the wrong person doing it for me. So this is me getting, it's like electrostimulation. And it honestly feels, this is in Ukraine here, just like the other one. So it's basically, if you've never had any sort of a tensor system electrostimulation, a lot of athletes get this, I guess. But yeah, so it feels like you're being tickled, like, but really intensely a lot, you know. So there's that. And then the doctor said that, for certain exercises and for certain things I'm doing for a while, I probably need to wear one of those special belts. And what's interesting about that is, well, hang on, I'll show you. So they had one of these, elastic belts that you're supposed to wear to a TENS unit. Thank you, Anna. Oh, Canti Ludan. 70 euros. My docs told me might not walk again, and here I am doing 8,000 steps a day. Yeah. And I really think it's about the right exercises and massage, stretching, all of those things, and staying active. And so I just, I will have to do these exercises for the rest of my life. But so my doctor was like, yeah, you need to be wearing this belt. And I said, well, what about the belt that I wear? What about my armor belt? Could I just wear that instead? So it's because I told him about my hobby, And so, by the way, so this is me from several years ago. And you can see I'm wearing this leather belt, and it's actually very similar to a Hutzel. It's supposed to be like a late Roman through like early migrations. No, I'm sorry, early Vendel period style armor belt, basically. Anyway, and here's me wearing it there. You can kind of see. So it's made of leather. I literally made it like no, not 24/7, Ronnie. Only when I absolutely need it. Like today, I rode on the Marshrutka to the doctor, and some of the roads in Ukraine, it is, yes, on it like a weightlifter's belt. Exactly correct. So, so here it is. Hang on, let me. So here it is. Here's the belt, and I have to tell you. So it's ready to joust. Well, okay, so all right, so you have, all right, this is a little bit embarrassing, but okay, so there are shiny parts of armor on it, and I covered them. I covered them with I think this is like spare like t-shirt cloth. And I did that when I was joining the Legion because I didn't have like a belt for stuff, like a war belt. I mean, gives some S&M vibes. Actually, yeah. I mean, because I used to do custom leather bondage gear, Aaron. So that's anyway. So yeah. So this belt, I wore this belt today. Not during my physiotherapy, but just riding on the bus because the bumps are like, and it was hurting my back. Okay. And the doctor I actually brought it to show my doctor to ask him, hey, do you think that this is, could I just wear this? And he was like, yeah, this is great. No, but yeah, Anna, I don't want to do it all the time because wearing something like this too much will actually weaken your core muscles and your back muscles. Oh, hey, Shirkan. Stream is getting too kink. Yeah. So Anna, that's like all of the exercises that they have me doing are like these core exercises that I've never done before. It's bizarre. I'm learning all kinds of new weird things. So that is the news and the update on my rehabilitation progress. Now my goal is that, well, oh my gosh, it's Thursday, so almost like a little over a week from now, I am hoping that I will be going out and doing some volunteer work and traveling around Ukraine. And I might need to go into some places where I need to wear some real armor. Well, plate, not medieval armor. Okay. And so I want to make sure I'm able to do that. Oh, Manu, my husband is a physiotherapist. He is watching with great interest. That's good to know. You should I mean, I won't show the videos now, but sometimes, you know, I do show videos of my hobby. Um, you know, of full contact medieval sword combat that you can watch. I'm sure your physiotherapist husband will take great interest in that. Show up in your nights. Or yeah, Shere Khan, that is pretty much what my wife thinks that I'm going to do, is run out to kill the Russians with my axe, you know. Um, yeah. No, I'm not doing that, guys. I'm not, you know, I'm dumb, but I'm not stupid. Or no, wait, I'm crazy, but I'm not dumb. Well, okay. No, I'm pretty dumb. It's good to check. Anyway, SCA. Yeah. Conti. Yeah, I've been in the SCA since like 1993, and started fighting in '99. I'm surprised you know. Wow, Conti, that's amazing. Do you know about the SCA? That's super cool. Yeah, aqua therapy has been a lifesaver for me. Yeah, I mean, I was hitting the like mineral spas when I was in the western part of Ukraine in Zakarpattia a lot, but I just didn't have access to a real physiotherapist. Ivanhoe at the front, that would get some views. Well, you know, with my secret crossbow idea. um, so, yeah, there you are. I will tell you that these attacks are just getting worse and worse, and you know, it's just the fact that oh, hey Bill, thanks for coming in. Yeah, Aaron, there's a British soldier who stormed the beach at D-Day with a sword, a bow, and arrow, and you know, killed a German with the bow as well, as I understand. Yeah. So you know, I will tell you that I haven't seen. I know that there's tons of strikes. I haven't seen the. I mean, other than the power issues that we've already been having here pretty much every day and every night. I haven't seen the increase yet, but they're expecting it to. So I want to talk about that later. You know, this is the part that's really bothering me, is that the U.S. just keeps digging a hole on this. You know, on you know, about quote unquote warning Ukraine over strikes on Russian oil refineries. It's like Lloyd Austin claims these attacks can have a knock-on effect in terms of the global energy situation. Yeah, the knock-on effect that, holy crap, Conti, you've been to Estrella War? Holy crap, we absolutely did. Yeah, my first Estrella War was 99. Wait, 99? Yeah, 2000, I guess 2000. And my last Estrella War was 2014. No, 2019. I think I went to Estrella War in 2000. Anyway, holy crap, dude. Oh my God, we've got to talk. Holy shit, I had no idea. That's awesome. Okay. Okay. So anyway, so this knock-on effect that Lloyd Austin is talking about. The knock-on effect is is Biden not getting elected, to be honest. I mean, that's because when people start to wake up, you met your wife at a castle tower by any chance? No, sadly I did not. I did not. It would have been nice, but that did not happen, unfortunately. But yeah, so this is what my take on this is, that ultimately the Biden administration is worried about losing the election, because when people wake up in October and realize, oh, there's an election happening, then What's the price of gas? I better blame Biden. I think that's what they're thinking of. And maybe they're right in that respect. But again, I would just go back and say, you should have thought of that sooner, Biden. Must say that Senator, I think Scott, really put that defense representative in her place. I didn't see it. But I will check. Yeah. Maybe I saw it, but I didn't know who was speaking because I was listening. Yeah, all our government members care about is staying in office, and they don't care about anything else, sadly. Rick Scott, Florida, right. Oh, I thought it was another guy, Tom Cotton. But yeah, whatever. It was a right winger, and okay, I do remember the conversation. I heard it 3 times today. It was Tom Cotton that I understood. But if it was Rick Scott, maybe. Did I see the RNC chair added? Yes, this is next on my list here. And I heard the whole conversation, where he said that it's like he just replaced the word Russia with Ukraine. And he said China and Ukraine and Iran, and he listed all 3 together as if they like. The thing is, people in Shirkan, thanks for coming. People hear this and they're just tuning in. Maybe they just flip on the TV one time and they hear this Michael Watley guy saying Biden's feckless leadership has shown China, has shown Ukraine, has shown Iran. They're trying to completely reframe reality into the opposite, to like opposite land, and Zelensky calls Trump's alleged peace plan for Ukraine very primitive. We're seeing this bifurcation, very strong bifurcation of the Ukraine issue into a political issue, to where if you're Republican, and I hate to say this, if you're Republican, you are anti-Ukraine. That's where they're trying to push people, and it's only about 15% of the electorate, at least in America, who has any concept of what's actually going on in the world. They just, barely flip on the TV for 5 minutes, or just what they see as they're walking through the break room at work and Fox News just happens to be on. Yeah, Herb. People with quotation marks. Correct. I mean, I hate to say that because I don't like to dehumanize. I think that that's also bad. But sorry, I'm pouring myself tea, guys. Excuse me. So, we have to fight that in some way, and I have some ideas, and we'll get to it. I didn't name this stream for nothing. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I just am curious, what is the peace plan exactly? When I saw this, I was like, wait, is there a new peace plan that Trump proposed? Okay. Prumps. That's, oh my God, I just renamed him. He's now called Prump. Donald Prump. Yeah. Yeah, Herb, that's this is the problem, right? So you got people like Greg Terry, you got people like Dr. Gerdes, who, now they're being called rhinos, now they're being cast out of the party. But most people who do actually feel the same way as Dr. Gerdes, most Republicans, they're not paying attention to the news. Haha, Megovan and Melanine. Yeah, they just kind of align. Yeah, because being woke is bad, and they'll wake up in October and say, "Oh, I'm Republican. Gas prices are up, so I better not vote for Biden," and that's it. You know, so people vote and people make decisions based on not really on what they know, but who they know. Okay, and if they don't know somebody who's a Ukrainian, then then they're going to be like, well, why should I care? I don't know any Ukrainians. So I don't know. I'm not seeing that that Trump actually has a peace plan other than selling Ukraine out. That's he's made it pretty clear, and I think that ATP Geopolitics has said, pay attention to what Trump's children are saying on Twitter and such. So let's I just want to talk about, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but I want to talk about this. Did you guys see this? Sea drone found in the Black Sea is American boat with a massive Soviet warhead. I'm sure that this is a Ukraine thing. Probably, an experimental. So found on April 3rd in Romanian waters. So it's very interesting. Check it out. So this is the warhead right here. And obviously this is a depiction. Okay. But so this is the warhead, and it's basically seated on, I guess this is where the driver would sit here, and then this is where the steering wheel would be, or the steering mechanism or something, and they've replaced it with a warhead. Concave face of shape charge to direct explosion forward. Wood frame to mount the warhead. So I see. So it's pointed kind of upward towards a hull, and chains to hold the warhead in place. Hull painted gray, but original red finish showing through. I think this is very, very interesting. Twin outboard motors and a Starlink to control it all. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting stuff. So I take it as a good thing. I don't think it's bad at all. Why limit yourself to this? Why not there's all sorts of boats that you could mount twin outboard motors on and some and a remote control system, Oh, you're right, Herb. The driver behind the tall bulkhead where the Starlink would go. Yeah, you're absolutely right. What am I thinking? Yeah. And Germany donated 50 outdoor motors. What a coincidence, Ronnie. Yeah. So I meant to talk about this earlier, but I think it's a good thing. Very interesting. So, going back to the issues that we're having with messaging with the Republican Party. I hate to say it, but this doesn't help. Okay. Another thing that doesn't help, unfortunately, is this. Barbara Streisand, Sean Penn, Imagine Dragons. Americans hate this. Especially right-wing Americans hate this when celebrities get political. And you may have a different opinion about this, but I was just thinking about this today. And I think it's not just so much that you disagree with their politics, and obviously Barbara Streisand, a lot of people disagree with her politics, and Sean Penn. Although Sean Penn's been doing amazing things for Ukraine since the very start of the war, he has his own big NGO, I think. At least that's my understanding. No, it's not about the fact that they don't like celebrities having an opinion. It's about the fact that people want to be entertained by celebrities, and they don't think of celebrities as human, and they don't like having their waters disturbed. Okay, politics. Yes, core Silver Earth. That is Sean Penn's thing. Correct. They don't like having their waters disturbed by bad news, by politics. Okay, and politics is bad, right? And so the problem with this is the same attitude that Russians have, right? Politics is bad. We don't want anything to do with politics. Let's just let Putin manage everything. Okay, and let's just let Trump manage everything. It's a very easy step to make. Okay, very easy step to make, and that's the direction that Ukraine is headed. So this is when I was talking, when I wrote the title of this live stream. This is what I came here to talk about today. Is the biggest obstacle that Ukraine has to getting aid, at least from the United States, and I don't know about Europe, but at least from the United States. There's a lot of other things, but it's really about a lack of personal connection. People in America, some of them people who, I thought of as my friends, my own family, I'm barely on the radar, and I'm family. People make decisions, political decisions, life decisions, based on who they know. Okay? And this has to do with, and I should have brought this up, Kohlberg's theory of moral development. Okay? And maybe I've talked about this before. I apologize if I have. Okay? But according to this guy, okay, there are, and I don't know how well researched this is, but I was taught this in my master's program. Okay? So this is how humans develop, right? So the 6 stages of moral development. Most people never move past 4. The 4th stage, or maybe 3. The third, level 3. Okay, so when you're dealing with children. Oh no, Herb. James slaps the board with the ruler. Whatcha? Class is in session. All right, sorry guys. I do wax pedantic. I apologize. But okay, so children, the first thing you teach them is this is bad. Don't do it. Don't do it. Why? Because I said so. That's why. And so that's where kids start out. The first morals we teach them, and that works until about the age of 5, 6, or 7. Okay, and then as we get older and we develop a little bit more, certainly when we become teenagers, we look at social considerations. Who's our friend, who's not our friend, and then most of us fit into, I would say maybe most of the time, most of us fit into the third category, which is just, pretending to be nice. So, which we call it, and we could even break it down more simply into three stages, right? Pre-conventional morality, which is obedience and punishment, individualism and exchange, and then conventional morality. Most people live in the conventional moral state. Okay, they care about the people that they know. That's stage 3, and maintaining the social order, and that's all they care about. Things like individual rights, universal principles, humanitarianism, anything that Jesus said. Okay, love thy neighbor as thyself, all that stuff. No. That's not a thing for most people. You guys, most of you are the exception to this rule. You're the freaking weirdos. You're the freaking weirdos that maybe have gotten up to stage 5, or maybe stage 6 if you're freaking Gandhi. Okay? And here, if you guys want to read this, you can. Here's your homework. You can go study. Okay, so we just need to recognize this fact, because this right here, interpersonal relationships, is the number one biggest obstacle to getting Ukraine aid. That's it. That's the problem. Okay? And I know that sounds crazy because you got, it's the UN and the NATO and all this, our laws and all this other stuff. But people make the laws. People elect the politicians. And ultimately, in our democracies, such as they are, our politicians reflect who we are. Ultimately, sadly, mostly the worst of us. Yeah. In the 2016 elections, 124 million eligible voters didn't vote. One good thing that since then voting percentages are increasing, but not enough. Yeah, well, a lot of people don't vote because, again, interpersonal relationships. They don't care about anything that's outside of their immediate family. And I mean, no offense to those of you who are on the conservative side of things. In general, conservatives tend to be much more focused on their family and family values. And to be honest, that's what matters to Ukrainians too. Okay. But there's a problem. There's a big, huge freaking problem. Ukrainians don't know how to talk about themselves. They don't know how to form new interpersonal relationships in the same way. And those of you who are Ukrainian who are watching or watch later, please comment about this. But you may argue, but I have a lot of experience here with Ukrainians, and this is true for Europeans in general. Okay. America is a nation of immigrants, and not just immigrants coming from the outside, but internal immigration. So people moving from California to New York to Chicago to freaking Missouri or whatever, all over the place. Right? Europeans don't do that. They don't do that so much. So as a result, like when you get a large number of immigrants coming in from some other country into Europe, they don't have a social system. I don't mean like the government. I mean like social traditions for dealing with that. Okay. We do, Americans, and I would argue most native speakers, so Australians do it. Even native speakers in India do this. When they introduce themselves, here we go, they have a structure. And this is the structure, guys. At least this is the one that I figured out. Yeah, Viper. This is especially difficult for former USSR countries. Exactly. So we have a thing, we native English speakers, I would argue, have a thing where we introduce ourselves and we kind of give our life story, you know? Like Herb, right now, what you're doing is exactly the sort of thing that a Ukrainian would never ever do. Okay. Mrs. Herb is four-side full-blood Scandinavian. I'm three-quarters Welsh. We combine now. A Ukrainian would never talk about their family like this. Canti, it is very hard to make friends in Ukraine compared to the US. I now that I know this, now that I understand this, and it's not unique to Ukraine. When I was in Germany, one of the number one things that Germans complain about their own country, and this is documented, I can show you YouTube videos about it and stuff, is Germans complain about how hard it is for them to make friends in Germany. And people who emigrate to Germany say it's very hard to make friends because everybody already has their own friends, their own circle of friends, and they don't need to grow. They don't need to grow that circle. They're like, I have enough friends. I don't need any more friends. I don't need to reach out. Yes, Viper says, but hell, once you get to know them, they are so amazing, true, and honest. Yeah. So this is something I was told or read somewhere before I came to Europe, and it was about Germans, but we can apply it to Ukrainians as well. Americans are like peaches. Ukrainians are coconuts. Oh, thank you, Real Dave Seaman. Thank you very much. 5 memberships. For those of you who weren't already. Susie Q, I don't think you were a member yet. Manu, I'm not sure if you were, but I hope you do join the YouTube. No. Yeah, we'll do that, but the Discord. And I swear to God, I'm going to have a video about that coming out. It's almost finished. I have a video editor, guys. Okay, anyway. The point is that if you know, Australia is often the same, especially in pubs. Near impossible to break the circle. Interesting. Okay, so the point is here. Ukrainians need some help. I literally teach this. What I have on the screen, okay? I teach this to Ukrainians. I'm teaching a 2-week-long class on this subject about the structure of these introductory conversations. I have my student.
Hello, everyone.
I'm an only child.
Watching this video here.
That's how we refer to that. Typically,
where they have to go through
tell
all
me
the
about
steps.
Yourself. How do you
and
feel
it's
when I
so
ask you this
mind
question?
blowing to them, to talk about your family, to talk about your work, to talk about things that you're interested in. They're like, why? They don't share that information. So there's a test. It's called the IELTS test that that English language learners can take, and if you want to go to Harvard, or sometimes if you want to get a job in the United States or something, you have to you have to be of a certain English level. Hey, Lauren. It's okay. I'm usually running late too. This is interesting. Okay, I'm just reading here. Severe introvert. Most of my friends are in my imagination. Yes. KK's GG. I wonder if studies bear that out for those of retirement age. I think that as you lose friends through natural attrition, you'd want to make new ones. That's interesting. When I was in Sweden, I spent a month and a half in Sweden, almost 2 months. And one of the number one thing that everybody in Sweden freaking complained to me about was how hard it was to make friends in Sweden. Cheryl, I put it down to Soviet suspiciousness. Yes, I think you're absolutely right, because they lived through the Soviet Union, and this is why my students struggle with this test, because the first questions that they ask on the test, and it's just to get a sample of your speech, and they're just using like a standard a standard, normal American conversation as a model. And so they ask all these questions like, what is your job? Where do you work? Why did you choose that job? Is it a popular job in your country? Do you like your job? What was your first day like? And then, they go on and like, where is your hometown? Do you like your hometown? What's the oldest place in your hometown? And my Ukrainian students are like, I've never even thought about these questions before. No one's ever asked me these questions before. And I've certainly never shared this information with anybody. Okay. Like they don't share this. They don't have a way to build social circles. And unfortunately, like as Americans, we're Brandon said in Sweden that they are not very friendly to new people, but they are helping Ukraine in massive ways. I found a lot of Swedish people when I was there were so happy to meet an American because they knew it was easy to talk to us. Yeah, Herb. They're like, what the fuck? What are they trying to get me to say? Yeah, because they're thinking, oh my God, this is like giving them flashbacks to the KGB. Clothes. Are clothes important to you? What kind of clothes do you usually wear? Have you ever worn a uniform? And I've actually had students tell me, is it ethical for you to ask me these questions? It's crazy, right? But so I mean, obviously I'm trying to teach this kind of thing every day. I'm thinking about this specifically because I was watching Greg Terry with Dr. Gerdes last night, I want to say. I believe it was this one. Could be wrong, but I think it was this one. And they were just talking about the work that Greg Terry is doing with his church. And if I'm not mistaken, he had on, yes, here we go. Go to it. He had on wait, hang on the question. I'm reading here. Cheryl says they don't ask personal questions of each other because traditionally everybody already knew everything about everybody. Exactly. If you've lived 5,000 years in the same place, all you need to hear is like the person's accent and you're like, oh, he's from over there. I know everything I need to know about him. Let's see. Viper UA. First question they ask, why are you not black if you're from Africa? Or are you from Africa? And they ask you that. Yeah, I bet that's funny. And you're like, actually, no, I have friends in America who are like from Nigeria, and stuff, but they're white, and to be honest, it was the first question I asked. Oh, Cheryl. Yes. On the reservation, on the Indian reservations. Yes. And so my experience living and working with Native Americans for like 10 years, building the internet out there, the parallels are amazingly accurate. Okay, because with Native American tribes, I'm talking about the Navajo and the Hopi, Dene, and the Pueblo tribes, Tiwa, Tewa, Towa speakers, Keres speakers, all that. Anyway, they're kind of the same. And also the thing where they don't smile unless they really like you is kind of the same deal. Very similar to. Yeah, Viper. I assumed. I figured that. South Africa. That was my guess. Mr. Nobody. I have 3 fins in an actual physical body. Yeah. I feel you. I'm Max. How Kimosabe? Yeah. Anyway, so this conversation between Dr. Gerdes, Greg Terry, and the guy on the right is Greg Terry's pastor, who is the CEO of their charitable organization. And he gave this, big talk about all the work that he's doing and their business side and everything. And it was, to most people, it's probably really boring. I was keenly interested because Dr. Gerdes asked, like, sorry, I do not speak French, Susie Q. Hablo español. But the town where Greg Terry comes from, Greg Terry said the town has like 5,000 people in the town. Okay. And the greater surrounding area maybe has 15,000. Okay. And they're doing all of this stuff from a little tiny town of 5,000 people. Okay. Like I kind of knew that already, but I was so I had it, that was in my imagination. I said, yeah, he's probably in some tiny ass little West Texas town or something. I can't even remember what state he's from. Sorry, Greg, if you're watching. But just think what would happen if maybe just some more little churches like that in America did this kind of thing for Ukraine. And then I thought to myself, well, why? Why Greg Terry's church? Or Louisiana? Pennsylvania? Wait, we're having a debate. Okay. Sure, that's what churches are supposed to do. But Aaron, I have to tell you that it's my understanding that's not what churches are about here in Ukraine. Christianity here in Ukraine, and forgive me if you're Ukrainian or Eastern Orthodox, you probably will have a better explanation. But to me, from my perspective, the church here is like Hogwarts. Yeah. It's kind of this mystical, magical place, and people don't like read the Bible that I know of. I'm talking about Orthodox. I don't know any Catholics. I know there's a lot of them in the West, but I don't know any. Oh, Greg is live right now. Oh, cool. Well, anyway, the point is, I was wondering, like, why this church? Why would this church involved, of all things, why are they involved with Ukraine? Because yes, a lot of churches do a lot of different things. But the reason is, that's what this pastor said. The reason is because they have some Ukrainians in the community. They have some Ukrainians in the church community that they know. Right? That's and I'm not saying that's the only reason. I'm not saying that they're not good, kind-hearted people or something. But I'm saying that there are Ukrainians now, due to the diaspora of this war, who are now spread out all over the world, in the United States, especially in Europe and Canada, Australia, probably. Well, no, I know they're in Australia. I know some of them. Yeah, Greg is not on for another 3 hours. Yeah, I thought so. I think I checked. But I guess the Ukrainians in this community of the church, as my understanding, they're not like recent refugees. They've been there for a long time. Hey, Dimitri, good to see you. Yeah, there's so many Ukrainians in Canada. Exactly. The problem is they don't have this. They don't have the ability to Greg's doing a quick live stream right now. Oh, interesting. Maybe he's responding to me. Probably not. But so Ukrainians don't have this skill to be able to make these social connections that we do. Okay? They don't have that ability. It's not something that they can even comprehend. I mean, it takes me weeks usually to teach Ukrainians. You know? Oh, Silver Earth or Max, bye everybody. Oh, everybody's going to Greg, and no, I guess he's on Dr. Gerdes. Should we flip over to Dr. Gerdes and we can watch him from my channel? No, it's okay. If you guys need to go over there, it's all good. Yeah, because Russia's been there and mucked them up. Yeah. I mean, arguably, yes, because of this whole, KGB and oh, Greg's stream already ended. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, they are amazing. I as myself, as an agnostic pagan, there's a lot of, let me tell you, the biggest holiday I would argue here is Easter coming up. And it's like 2 weeks long. Okay, guys, it's not. Yeah, KKSGG, that must be an awful challenge for those who've relocated outside of UA due to the war. Right. So here's the thing, guys. Here's what you got to do. Here's what we have to do. I'm really talking about you. I'm pulling a Tom Sawyer on this one, all right? You guys, or we have to find these Ukrainians, okay, wherever they are, and bring them into our circles. Okay, take them to your church or your social club, whatever it is. And why Ukraine? Like YouTuber Think Ukraine, she called those churches KGB headquarters. Yeah. Oh, you're a pagan Jew, Bill. That's nice. That's nice. So Ishtar? Is that your? Anyway, someday I'll do a live stream with Johnny. He invited me, I think last weekend, I think it was last weekend, but it was too late, or 2 weeks ago. Anyway, the point is, we got to find these Ukrainians. We got to find them. We got to bring them into our circle. We got to say to them, and here's the only way. Remember, going back to my whole thing about Kohlberg's moral development. We have to say to them, look, you are our family now, right? You're in our circle. You're part of our family. This is what Ukrainians do. Okay, when you meet them and when you crack that coconut, okay, outside they're all hard and they walk around, nobody's smiling, But you crack that coconut and they're just like milky, Whereas we Americans, we are like peaches, so we seem really soft and fuzzy and sweet and juicy, I guess. But in the center, we've got like a hard core, Leslie Bow, I live in a town with only 3,000 people in it in Spain. It's very interesting. I'm always curious about the difference between Northern and Southern Europe, and I've been talking about the problems with social connections and making new friends. And I have mostly, my tour of Europe was in Northern Europe. And so I wonder if Southern Europe is different. I can tell you that Southern Ukraine is different. Southern Ukraine, particularly, I'm going to say, the Crimean Tatars and the original residents of Crimea are Armenian, some even maybe Italian culturally, and that has to do with the fact that Crimea was, going all the way back to the Greek city-states, and then Italian Roman Empire. This was all Greco-Roman, and in the Genoa, the Genoese had a colony here. I mean, this was heavily influenced by Southern Europe, and so culturally they have some different social traditions. And my experience is that they're a little bit easier to, I'm not going to say easier to make friends with, but they don't have that hard outer shell. They're much more emotionally expressive. I don't know how to explain it correctly, but it's different. All I can say is they remind me of Italians, and I'm wondering, Susie Q, no, who was it that said that they're living in Spain right now? I forgot and I lost it. But if you are, I'm very interested in that. Let's see. Tell me again where you're from, and now a journalist in Ukraine with your wife. Oh, that's not me. I'm not a journalist. Well, not yet, anyway. No, my wife is Ukrainian, and it's very interesting when okay. Oh, Leslie Bow. Okay. Southern Spain is nicer people and are more friendly, but they don't like the people from the north of Spain. Of course not. Yeah, Leslie Bow. Okay. Yeah, Venice had colonies there. Thank you, Manu. Exactly. So, Susie Q. Oh, my story. So I came to Ukraine in 2019. And people always ask me why, because that's the name of the channel, right? Why Ukraine? Because that's the first question that everybody asks me. And really, I decided to come to Ukraine. I decided I wanted to come to Europe a long time ago, and starting in like 2014, I worked for an IT company. Starting in 2009, I worked for an IT company. Starting in 2010, I want to say, we were hiring Ukrainians, and starting in 2014, when Maidan happened, is when I decided that I wanted to come to Ukraine. Canti, let's see. I get on the tram and ask loud if anyone speaks English. So do you say, like, do you speak English, or do you say, like, "They rozmовляють англійською" or something like that? Go start a conversation with him and talk for a bit, and then get off and get on to the next tram and repeat. That's a fucking great idea, Canti. This is how I expanded my circle of friends in Ukraine. Yeah, that's a really great, I should try that. I'm very restricted here because I'm in this small town, and I mean, pretty much everybody knows me, but there's just not a lot of connections to be made, unfortunately. So I traveled all over Europe in 2019, for 3 months, and then came to Ukraine. And I just felt like I just felt like I was in the right place. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just loved Kyiv, and I think I just felt more free here, is what I would say. And I loved Sweden. I almost stayed there. I loved Germany. I almost stayed there. But I didn't feel I never felt the freedom that I felt here. I had friends there, close friends, and I made really good friends there. But I wanted something else, and I'm really glad that I came here. Really happy. And then I met my wife in 2020, and we got married the weekend before the war. Yeah. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I bet it was hard, Canti, the first time, because everybody's just looking at you like, what? But I've actually been on the metro in Kyiv, and because my first week, I was lost, and I literally just walked up to somebody and said, like, excuse me, do you speak English? Like, it's not working. When I meant it was my phone wasn't working. I wasn't getting signal, and I couldn't find my way. And yeah, people helped me, and that's part of how I made my first friends, you know. Canti, you should be able to stay in Ukraine if you have applied for residency. Yeah, Canti, we should talk. I have experience with that now and know who to talk to, and it does cost money. Essentially, you got to pay for the right lawyers and blah blah blah. So yeah, guys. Herb, yeah. The deal here is that the story that I just told you, okay, Ukrainians, they need to be able to, they need that skill and they don't have it. And so it's up to us to find them wherever they are. And we got to, I don't know how we're going to do this. We got to make some kind of a list. Oh God, now we start to sound like the KGB, but maybe we could contact like different, like I'm thinking of Razom, for Ukraine. That's one of these charities that's in Ukraine. I'm sorry, that is for Ukrainians, but it's in America. Maybe something like that to kind of just, yeah, Susie, yeah, I will talk to Greg about it. I intend to, and try and make those connections in every community to reach out to them and bring them into our social circle. And I think that can be really transformative. Okay, because pretty soon in your social circle, people will be like, "Oh, you know a Ukrainian? Ukrainians are still, even though people don't care as much, Ukrainians are still kind of celebrities, you know, in the world." And I know this because I have Ukrainian students who are outside of Ukraine, and they're shocked to find out when they work up the courage, or they get forced into some social situation where they have to meet other people. You know, they're shocked to find out that people come up to them and they're like, "You're Ukrainian? Tell me all about Ukraine." And they don't know what to do. They freeze up. They're like deer in the headlights. Oh, I don't know what to say. And so I've literally had to teach my Ukrainian students how to do that. And they come back and they thank me and they say, thank the gods you taught me how to tell my story. You know, and it really is life-changing for some of them. But you know, I can only teach so many. You know, you guys can go out there and find these people. You know, Elegant Mess. You, as I recall, Elegant Mess, you are in Lviv. Yeah. Did you send me an email or something? Someone sent me an email and said they were in Lviv, and I lost it, and I meant to get back to them, and I apologize. There's so many different I have so many different platforms, I lose track of things. But I would like to have a live stream, Elegant Mess, where okay, so this is just an announcement. This is going to transition me over into the next topic. How are we doing on time? Okay. Gosh, I'm not going to get to everything. I'm just not. Okay. The next topic that I want to talk about, I'm not going to get there, but it is the International Legion. So coming up, I have
the moment that I decided that I wanted on Ukraine would be,
this is amazing.
Once you saw on the news,
so
how many times are by the Russian military executing civilians?
I have.
I have it. At that point, from a moral point of view, I decided that
I'm going to turn the sound off, but everyone watch this and share it. What I want to do is I've already gone almost an hour and a half now, and so I need to do I want to do a live stream talking about the International Legion and what the International Legion, how do I say this? From my armchair, my chair actually has arms, what the International Legion needs to do, I guess. I feel like the International Legion needs a reboot. That's kind of why I'm one of the reasons why I'm gonna go back. Here's what I will say about it. Okay, I don't think I can really take credit for this, but this YouTube channel, like, okay, all right, so I think I may have made this YouTube channel happen. In other words, like, I was there and I was telling my commanders, I was like, the International Legion needs to set up a YouTube channel and needs to start like doing these videos where I wrote like a 36 page proposal about it, who would possibly read it. And now they're doing it. I don't know if the idea came from me. Probably they would have gotten to this point anyway. But so this is an actual member of the Legion talking about, why did he join? What's his experience been like? Who is this person? And it's super cool. I got to do my taxes and not getting much done. Susie Q, you should come to Ukraine. Because if you are not in the United States, you have until June to finish your taxes. Isn't that an awesome excuse? I mean, maybe they listened to me. I maybe they had this all planned already. Okay, but so I want to talk about where the direction I think that the Legion needs to go next. Now, so I'm not going to do that today because I just realized I'm an hour and 20 minutes in, and I had 2 more rants planned, and I just have to delay them until next time. I have, very important, and they need to actually maintain it more. Yeah, there's more that they need to do. So I had a trainer in the International Legion for the 4th Battalion, the group that we have been supporting, asked to come on my channel and do a live stream with me. Hey, Mark, thanks for coming. So that's coming up. I don't know if it's going to be this weekend, but I hope so. It is my hope. So maybe I will cover this topic of like kind of rebooting the Legion. I'm talking about from a PR perspective, but maybe some other. Yeah, Civdiv, thank you. Almost 1 million subscribers. And the Legion needs to. I mean, there are more things they could do. I think that, honestly, the videos on their channel, though, are very well produced. They've got some good people working for them. This interview is an excellent interview. Okay? It's really good. And their videos in general are really awesome. And one thing I will say about it is the reason I think that I know that I'm pushing it here to try and say this, but wow, they have a bunch more videos that I haven't seen. These are really cool. It's interesting. So all right. So the reason that I am saying that like 9 months ago, okay, is when this came out, and I was in the Legion 10 months ago, I think. This video here in this is the group I was in right here. These guys that you will see, and you will even, I know I've shown it already, but you will get to see Susie Q or the wall where I injured my wrist. I know I've already talked about it. Anyway, so yeah, these guys that like, okay, that guy slept on the bed like directly that way from me. Okay. Anyway, So, okay. So I'm going to postpone that discussion till probably Saturday. I want to just reiterate that we need to find what's that dirt taste like. Yeah, it tastes like dirt. It's just exactly as you expect. Tastes like somebody else's shoe is what it tastes like. But I just want to reiterate that we have to find a way to get in contact with these Ukrainians in each of our respective countries, and bring them into our circles, and thereby let them transform your circle into a group of people who maybe are a little bit like little mini Greg Terry's or Greg Terry's church, just by virtue of, oh, I know someone from Ukraine. Okay. And it makes people want to take action. It makes people want to vote differently. And it might even change some elections. It might be too late. I see James is fluent in Taiwanese. Yeah. Yeah. Because I write in it as well. It might even, maybe it's too late to change the elections that are coming up. But, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. And the second best time is now. Viper UA, the only major problem in the recruiting process is the recruiting process and actually red tape. I have a friend that applied in last year, October, and still battles with visa. Dude, I applied 10 freaking times before they agreed to take me. And I had to talk to a guy who talked to a guy, and I don't even think you can, I think the method that I use to get in is not even a valid method anymore. I'm honestly not certain. Holy Oblation, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. I'm sorry to say we're kind of wrapping up the stream. Let's see. In the Discord server, the rules are not there yet. Good idea to work that out. Are we talking about my Discord server? I have rules, but they need to be fleshed out a little more, I would dare say. We should have a vote, actually. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna just I'm gonna finish up the stream here by saying we are very close to buying a drone. Okay. And this may not reflect. Oh, okay. So a total of $342. We need $800 to get this drone. Okay. And the drone we're getting is this one right here. And by the way, it's not necessarily going to Big Mac Joe McDonald. He's the one who recommended it. But hell, if he wants it, I guess I'll send it to him. I had a unit picked out to get it. It was originally going to go to the Alpha Company 1st Battalion. But I'm hoping we'll be able to send them another drone. There are some reasons why I'm not going to send it to the Alpha Company 1st Battalion yet. I won't go into that just yet. It's not a Chinese drone. No, it's Ukrainian made. Thank you, Susie Q, for asking the question. It's not a Chinese drone. It's made by drone manufacturer Drone Ukraine. It carries 6 kilograms, has a 20-kilometer range, maximum speed of 120 kilometers an hour, maximum altitude 7,000 meters. Yeah, so this is like a real deal. And we're holding a raffle. And Canti, you might recognize these. We're holding a raffle. And so far, 12 people have entered the raffle. So, your chances are pretty good of winning this awesome stuff. Now, some of you have asked about using PayPal. Don't use this stupid PayPal button, guys. why is that even coming up? If you want to use PayPal, pay with PayPal, use the QR code here. Okay, let's see if I can. Yeah, there it is. Ah! I had it on my screen. There you go. Now it's going away. Damn it. Yeah. So, but you can also just, you can take credit card, bank card, all of that, and you just go there. And this is why I set this up. Some people donated and they just said, I don't care about winning anything. I just want to donate. Yeah, you can donate right here. Big Mac recommended FPV drone. It all goes to the same place. So the total donated here is 212. So we add those all together and, plus, well, it's about $600 added all together. So we're less than $200 short of buying this drone. Oh, Canti, you sent an extra postcard that's not in the pictures. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you, sir. So yeah, and this is really important because in how many days? In a week. 8 days. I'm going to be going on a little trip that I don't have all the details for yet, but probably gonna be to the front lines. We'll see what happens. And I would like to take this drone with. That's what I would like to do. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but that's my goal. We're definitely going to take a bunch of tourniquets. And right now, guys, I know I have a lot of things on the site, but to be honest, all we need donations for right now are the drone and tourniquets. Also, I have a bunch of merch here. This is all made in Ukraine stuff. Okay, patches, t-shirts, tons of stuff like this. All of that is going towards the drone right now. So if you want to buy a cool Ukraine t-shirt or something, everything outside of, the cost for the t-shirt, and I can't remember what the cost is, but I think it's like $15. So you're basically, if you buy a t-shirt, $30, you're basically making a $15 donation. Okay. All of that money is going to the drone fund. So, yeah, that's the deal, basically. So, yeah, I think that's it, guys, for now. There are some more things I want to talk about, but I don't want to, I want to talk about things like this. I want to talk about how to construct a small septic system. I know, it sounds crazy, right? I want to talk about this. Ground source heat pumps. I'm the only, Suzy Q, I'm the only one wearing, I've seen wearing a Ukraine shirt since this damn war began. What the fuck is wrong with people? Fair enough. Yeah, postage from Ukraine is not cheap, unfortunately. I have been doing a lot of research, and I have sent out some shipments, and I have some shipments that I need to send out of patches. I haven't sent yet. But some people ordered patches. I know it was last week people ordered them. I haven't sent them out yet. But I have the, like, I'm pretty sure I can get the cost down to like $5 shipping. If you need over 3x, definitely need to order online, Ukrainian stores. Yes. Canti, that's a very important point about talking about t-shirts. Not only do Ukrainian stores not carry anything larger than 2x, to be honest, most of the time. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading your guys'. Anyway, the point is with these t-shirts, because they're made in Ukraine and they all the sizes, and Canti, you can verify this for me, I'm sure. When you go to a shop, you have to be very careful. Something might say that it's 1x or 2x when it's actually a size smaller. Because I mean, like, when I tell people that I have a size 13 American or size 48 European shoe, their eyes get all wide. They're like, I didn't even know they made shoes that big here. People are small here. And so when you buy it, so the point is, I have adjusted all of these shirts. You should just know this. Like, these shirts here, I've adjusted them. So if it says extra small, it's like extra small. If it says wait, hang on. What I mean to say is that, okay, like this one here that's a 2XL, all right? That was actually in reality on the web from the company here in Ukraine that I buy these shirts from. I can't figure out how to talk right now. The company that I buy these shirts from lists them as 3XL. I wear a size 50 shoe. Yeah, forget about it, man. Yeah. Canti, yeah, for sure. So so the company that makes these says that this is a 3X. I'm selling it on my site as a 2X because I know that, right? So the one that's extra small here, that's listed on the website as a small. That's what I meant to say. And the small on the company that I'm actually buying these shirts from that'll send them to me, what I'm listing as a small, they list as a medium and on up. So, yeah, that's the deal. Unfortunately, most Ukrainian companies don't have the ability to sell stuff outside of Ukraine due to Ukrainian stupid banking laws. It's a huge, horrible problem. So you're also, if you buy one of these shirts down here, you're also helping to support the Ukrainian economy. And with the drone too. I mean, like I said, all right. Anyway, I've talked enough, guys. I think my universal size is fat American. Okay. The first raffle tickets I bought, I think I used the PayPal link. The ones I bought just now, I used the store link. Yeah. Okay, Paul. Yeah, definitely use okay, yeah, use the store link. Now, if you go in and you go to here and you use this QR code, I will see that. That will pop up, and I can actually even check right now. Ooh, my computer's super slow because I have too many windows open. I'm sorry. Ugh. No, it's going to take forever. But yeah, I will update that. I do update that, but I have to update it manually if you use the QR code. I didn't realize that this buy with shop pay option was popping up here. I think it will give you shop pay. No, okay, no, this is shop pay. Okay, no, it shouldn't give you a PayPal option, is what I'm getting at. I don't think it will give you a PayPal option like a button or something like that at all. Okay, yeah, Google Pay, Shop Pay. Great, that's what I'm checking. So this is the only way to pay with PayPal, and that's fine. That'll come to me. All right. So thank you all for coming. Slava Ukraine. Yeah. Do побачення, everybody.